Rare entities. You know them, you love them, and you can't get enough of them. I'm sure all of us at some point have seen a top 10 rarest doors entities type of video. Now, most of you already know what the rarest entity in the entire game is, and that is Shadow, an Easter egg character who has a 1 in 2,000 chance of appearing in any room you enter. However, there does exist another very rare entity in the game. Maybe not as statistically improbable of encountering as Shadow, but still incredibly rare to find. And it was removed from the game. However, it is actually possible that this rare entity is coming back to doors in the very next update, and that is what I'd like to discuss today. In this video, we'll be going over probably one of the rarest entities in the game, their removal, and how they are almost definitely being re-implemented soon. So with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so this is Sally, also known as Window, a very rare Easter egg entity which has existed in the game ever since its release. Now, most of you will recognize this character from the lobby, as they appear in one of the windows in that location as a decoration. However, Sally also existed as an actual entity which could appear throughout your playthrough. You see, on very rare occasions you could find this creature's glowing face staring at you from outside a window, before it disappeared with the next lightning strike. They primarily served as a mini jump scare for players, as it's likely you would have seen them in the corner of your eye, but when you went to check they'd be gone with a flash of lightning. Now, Window here is very unique, as they are one of the only doors entities to have been completely removed from the game, if we don't count their appearance in the lobby. Essentially, ever since the game received its Hotel Plus update, no new footage of this entity ever surfaced, meaning it almost certainly was removed from the game. Now, the reasoning behind this is currently unknown, but all that matters is that this rare Easter egg was wiped from existence. Or is it? You see, my viewers, there is actually a very high chance that Sally will return in the very next update to doors, and that is what I want to highlight. Essentially, we know that the next update is going to introduce a ton of new modifiers to the game. Now, although most of them will be focused on the mines, one of the new ones confirmed in particular really caught my attention. Apparently, a modifier which allows you to play the game in its state before the Hotel Plus update is going to be added, likely working similarly to the Super Hard Mode modifier, where no data will transfer due to the build of the game being so old. Anyways, as you may recall, Window only existed in the game prior to the Hotel Plus update, meaning this version of the game, which will soon be playable through modifiers, will likely contain the entity within it. This means that Sally, an entity which has been gone from the game for almost a year, will make a return in this next update, which is pretty exciting. However, why should anyone care about this? I mean, it's cool and all that an extremely rare entity is being added back into the game, but what's so important about it? Well, given Sally's rarity and how they were removed so early in the game's life, the character itself was never really that well documented. However, now that it is probably being reintroduced, we can finally learn more about it. Sure, it's not the biggest deal, but it definitely is interesting. So, to summarize, the very rare entity Window is almost definitely being added back into doors in the very next update, as a modifier which replicates the game in its stage prior to the Hotel Plus update is being added. There really isn't much other than that. So with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you thought, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.